Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add another page to our portfolio website here. So to do that, we're going to go to, just going to close it out. We're logged into Google. We're going to type in Sites, the Google search. Click on Sites. Click on the name of the website you want to edit. We're also going to open up a tab where we can preview the page as a viewer by clicking on the gear and then Preview Page as Viewer. Okay. So we're actually it's taking quite a bit of work here, so which it shouldn't take work. We're actually I'm gonna talk a little bit about the problem that you're seeing right here. So when you try to embed a PDF or doc into Google Docs, you get this preview on the left hand side, which I'm sure they thought was a feature at the time. But it creates a situation where it's very difficult to embed a PDF or a Word doc. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this page, and we're going to start fresh. So okay, so essentially we have our introduction page here, right? And we're going to go ahead and add a new page, and this is going to be for our CV, right? A CV is like a resume for academia. I always forget to spell it. So CV is short for Curriculum Vitae, which I'm sure I'm saying incorrectly. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the spelling from somewhere else. So the name of the new page is going to be just that. We're going to put it under Introduction. I'm going to click Create. Okay. All right. So once we have our page, so we have our CV page, and we're going to go ahead and click Edit on the top left-hand corner, or the top left-hand corner here, in just a second. First, we're going to go ahead and remove these Add Files and Add Comments buttons here. So we're going to click on the gear, and we're going to click Page Settings, and unclick Allow Comments, unclick Show Links. We are going to leave the page title. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and edit the page, right? And basically, our strategy here is that we want to have our documents in one place, editable in one place. Okay, so in this case, we want to have a document on Google Drive, and we want to embed that document onto our Google site. And the advantage that this gives us is that all of our documents are in one place. So you have your resume or your CV or your letter all on Google Drive, and then you're displaying them in different places or sending a link to them in emails. That means you don't have to attach anything. It also means that when you change your resume or CV, that it changes it everywhere. You don't have to worry that you sent on an old CV or an old resume, or that there's something out there that you don't want just floating around. So it also gives you the ability to obviously control what kind of versions. If you're applying to different places, you're going to need different versions of this stuff. So in this case, it should be a general CV, right? So you're displaying this on a portfolio site. It means that you're going to send a lot of different people here. So the CV should be geared toward the site. So in this case, your audience for the CV is anyone coming to the portfolio site that you're displaying. So you want to give general information. You don't want to talk about specific job opportunities or educational opportunities in there. You just want to make it, general. So, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Google Drive, and you can do this on any page that has this kind of, I'm not sure what you call it, collection of boxes icon. And we're going to click Drive. Okay, now the problem that I described before, we're going to go into Portfolio of Engineering. So the problem that I described before is a problem that basically if you try to, the best case scenario here would be to display a PDF version of these documents. That would be the best case scenario. Okay, the PDF, that gives you control over the viewing environment that the user is viewing your document in. It basically creates a print of the document. So you don't have to worry about what kind of software the person you're wanting to view your resume, you don't have to worry about what kind of software they have. The PDF is going to view the same everywhere. The second best option is to have a Word doc with a DOC file name. like file extension, that is also a universal format that's going to display pretty well almost everywhere. And by everywhere, I mean different versions of Word on Windows, different versions of Word on Mac, and OpenOffice as well. So unfortunately, the way that Google Sites displays these documents, it's very difficult to get it to display correctly on Google Sites. Now, it is possible, and there is code that you can use. And I'll just go ahead and take a minute to show you this code. We're not going to be using this today because I feel like it's just the workaround. There's just too many things that can go wrong with it, and as soon as you start to use code that's not supported by Google Sites, they could change something anytime and all of a sudden it breaks everything. So it's better to go along with the documented features of Google Sites. That way you're sure that if they make an upgrade at some point, you're not going to lose work because you exploited some undocumented piece of code, even though it works at the time. Okay, so okay, so we're going to search on do not show Google Sites PDF pages. Okay, and this you'll notice it links like nightmare inserting PDF into Google Sites. So this is a good example. So this is in Google Forum, and basically if you search, you're going to find this common code. You're going to find this kind of common code that is oops, sorry about that. That is kind of used in other places, and there's like PDF wrappers and all this other stuff. So anyway, so if you want to try to embed a PDF, then you can go ahead and try that. We are going to take a different route. So basically, what we're going to do is also kind of a workaround, but let's go ahead and do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to first make sure that our upload settings are correct. So we're going to click on the gear in Google Drive. We're going to click on Settings. We're going to click on the gear in Google Drive. We're going to click on Upload Settings and make sure that Confirm Settings and Confirm Upload Files to Google Drive, or Convert Upload Files to Google Drive, Google Docs, and Confirm Settings are both checked. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to upload our Word documents. Okay, so we're going to select both of our Word documents. We're going to drag them into Google Drive. We're going to make sure that Convert is checked. Oops, I need to get in my correct folder. So we're going to drag over our Word documents again. We're going to make sure that Convert is checked and start upload. Now the problem here is that we need to double check that the conversion happened correctly. Okay, which it in my experience it almost never does. So we're going to click on the letter first. This is our sample letter. A letter is going to be pretty easy because there's no formatting. Remember that you're going to want to remove this copyright once you change the words in the letter. So the letter looks okay. Then we're going to go into the CV one, and usually, this is going to have more of a complicated formatting. So we're going to want to go down into this letter and actually correct the formatting. So, Google Docs does a pretty good job, but it's not going to get everything. So you're going to have to go down in and kind of convert it to the format that you want to. Notice that a lot of times it's the table structure. So what we're going to want to do is we're just going to kind of want to adjust the table structure here, little bits here and there, just to get the formatting correct. Notice when we scroll down now, the formatting's a little bit correct. Here's a good example of an area where it's not correct. So we're going to, if you run into something like this, it's probably, usually what happens is usually what happens is that text gets moved to one part of the table or another. So you just want to go ahead and delete out the text, or cut and paste the text back into the area of table that you wanted. Notice that there's going to be spacing issues at the bottom. It's quite a process here. So okay, so once you've kind of worked around those formatting issues, now we kind of have a properly formatted document pretty well. One of the main issues that Google Docs has is this inability to combine table rows, or table columns. So usually in a Word format, or in a Word document formatting tool, you'd be able to combine columns. It's kind of a common thing, but Google Docs doesn't support it, so you get these kind of weird formatting issues. Okay, so we got our CV done. We're going to save it, and this is going to it's caused us some problems and it solved some problems. So now we have two editable versions. My opinion is that you just stick with the Google Docs version. You just work on getting the Google Docs version really correct, because 9 times out of 10 a person can view the Google Docs. You print the Google Docs as a PDF and then re-upload the PDF to your Google Drive. Okay, so to get this PDF version of our document, you just go into Google Docs, you do File, Print, or you just print the print icon. You do the destination as Save as PDF, and you can then when you click Save, you're going to get this PDF version, which you then can re-upload and use extensively. Okay. All right. So we have our document. Now we're going to go ahead and put it into our Google site. So we're on our page. Remember, we added our page here. We're going to click Insert. We're going to go to Drive, Document, and we should see it kind of pop up right here. So we got our CV. We click Select. Okay, we're going to uncheck border, uncheck title, and we're going to make our height to 2000. And hopefully that fixes the scroll bar issue. Okay, so now we have it. Okay, so here's a display of our document. It was large enough that it didn't give us any scroll bar here, which is great. So just this little bit at the end is fine. You can leave that there, but at least we don't have 2 scroll bars on the page. Okay, so that's our first page. We're going to go ahead and create a second page. Call it Letter of Introduction. Okay, and we're going to put it under. We're actually going to put it under Introduction. So we want on the same level as our CV. So we're not going to choose CV. We're going to choose Introduction. We're going to click Create, and it's the same exact process. So we click Create. We have our page here. It automatically puts us into edit mode. We're going to click Save initially. Click Page Settings. Uncheck Comments. Uncheck Attachments. Uncheck Links. Click Save again. Now we're going to click Edit, and we're going to click Insert. Go to the Google Drive flyout menu. We're going to click Document. We're going to choose our letter. Click Select. We're going to not include a title, not include a border. Remember, we're going to make our height 2000, and we're going to leave our width blank. Click Save. Click Save again. And now we have our letter of introduction displayed. Notice that 2000 is about 2 pages. 1000 is about a page. So I'm going to go back in and change this to 1000. I'm going to click Save and Save. And hopefully, you can have a little bit of gray at the bottom, but you don't want too much. So, okay, so there is our introduction, our CV, and our letter of introduction. So those are our initial 3 pages, and I hope that helped. Good luck.